welcome to session 5 of the Collect Connections project. Let's commence our practice this morning by just finding a comfortable seated position here. The pose that I'm in now is an easy seated position, or Sukasana, where we're able to connect into the sit bones and really notice the connection that we have to the earth beneath us. It's also an opportunity to be able to stretch and lengthen our spine. Maybe create a little space through the back of the neck by gently just drawing the chin from the left shoulder down, then up to the right. Just feeling into any sort of subtle movement. And again, just noticing how it is that your body feels. We take the opportunity to practice the art of being really mindful. And we're able to do this when we create some stillness and quietness. Then on an inhale, maybe taking the gaze up towards the sky. And exhale, softening the chin towards the chest. Do that one more time, breathing in. And exhale. Then on your next inhale, gently sit nice and tall again. If this isn't an option for you, or if you have any injuries into the knees here, just find any sort of seat that's going to be comfortable. I'm sitting on a cushion, so that is an option too. When we elevate our sit bones a little, we're able to change the tilt of the pelvis. So for me, it's not overly comfortable to sit in a cross-legged position, but if I just uplift a little, I'm easily able to maintain this position for just a few breaths. And from here, just closing down your eyes if it feels comfortable. We have a choice here, otherwise we can soften the gaze. Closing down the eyes does start to take our awareness inwards, so it allows us to cancel out the external noise, the external busyness of the world of life. And then just making sure that the shoulders are relaxed here. The hands can sit where they would like to sit, where they fall. Or you're more than welcome to bring your hands to your heart space. And let's bow down into this space where we are right now. And just begin to connect with your breath. Focusing on your inhalation and your exhalation. Let's take 4 more rounds of our breath here. And just using this tool to cultivate a sense of presence on our mat. Again, the whole idea of yoga is to activate our relaxation response. So it's a really handy tool to continue to take with you throughout your life. Utilising whenever you need to in those stressful moments. So continuing to use the breath to ground and calm us here and to replenish our nervous system. And by doing this, it helps us to build resilience, to be able to handle the daily ups and the daily downs. And also to better equip us to be able to enhance the way we respond, rather than by being reactive, maybe responding from a place of kindness, a place of calm. And from here, gently just release your hands down by your sides. Let's take an inhale, float the right hand up and over. Then just find some softness here as the hand, the fingers, the arm just straight. And again, just drawing the chin up towards the right armpit and then down, softening towards the chest. Over to the left. So any sort of movement here is just going to release any tension, any tightness, but create a little bit of space. And then swapping sides here. So as soon as we arrive into a shape or a pose, just feeling into that shape and asking yourself, is it intensity and sensation that we feel, or is there pain? And if there is pain, we come out of the pose and return to a neutral alignment. One more, breathing in, exhale over. Breathing in, exhale over. Breathing in, returning to neutral. Float the hands out in front. Interlace the fingers. Exhale, push the energy away from your center line and reach up to the sky. Draw your lower ribs in. Sit nice and tall. Soften your shoulders. Creating a little bit of movement here will release any tension. Take one more inhale and an exhale. Again, just releasing down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach, interlace the fingers, turn the palms inside out, push the energy away. Wobble through the shoulders and the hips here. And just really incorporating any movement that feels like it's nourishing you, like there is a positive purpose here. And then gently releasing down. Again, let's create some release through the shoulders now, just rotating a few times in one direction. Really noticing how it feels as we compress and shorten through the upper traps, squeezing all the way up to the ears and then releasing down. On the exhale, it's like you're giving yourself permission to all of a sudden release and be heavy here. Notice the space that we create as we do this. And then just rotating the shoulders in the other direction. One more here. Awesome. Stretching the legs out. Moving heavy pillows or props away. And just placing the feet so that they're hip width apart. Sitting nice and tall. Sometimes we need to pull the meat out from underneath our sit bones to expose the tips of our pelvis. Shift your weight back just a little, but we're active through the core. So take an inhale here on your exhale. Navel draws towards the spine to support particularly the lumbar area. And continuing to create extension all the way to the crown, the top of the head. From here, take one more inhale, and on your exhale, start to float your legs off the mat. Now you might have the toes gently touching or just starting to float. And come with me here if you wish to come into a half boat pose, Navasana. Stay with your breath. Taking 4 more rounds. If it is in your practice today, softening through your shoulders. Maybe even gently squeezing your shoulder blades towards each other to crack open the centre of the chest. We want to avoid creating that concave collapse shape here and really open up, being super receptive. 2 more breaths. Strong through your legs. Squeeze your knees towards each other here. Option to reach the hands out in front. Now feel free to release from this pose, otherwise let's take an inhale, palms face up. On your exhale, reach both hands over to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, both hands over to the right. belly here. Last one, you've got this. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the right. Place the hands down, reach the feet all the way to the mat. Lower the spine down. Take an inhale on your exhale, just really letting go at this point. Then on your next inhalation, float your hands up and over your head, point your toes. Exhale, draw both knees towards the chest, releasing through the lumbar area and rotating from side to side. You might like to place your hands on your knees and again start to draw circles, using the guidance of the tip of the kneecap, the patella, and then rotating in the other direction. Always being mindful of creating balance here. Compressing into the belly is going to encourage blood to flow into the digestive organs. So again, you might notice just really subtle pulsation when you're creating restriction here. On your next exhalation, if you gently land the feet back down onto the mat, stretch them to the front of the room, and then open up on the inhale. Just gently allow for the shoulders to be heavy, the elbows, the hands, and the feet to fall outwards. So we're essentially restricting the flow of blood into the belly. And then we just take a moment for balance to be restored, for space to be created. Let's take one more round of our breath, breathing in. And exhale. Draw your right knee up towards your chest, just your right knee, active through your left heel here. So the toes are drawing back towards the shin. And press every part of your body into the mat. Release your right hand down, take an inhale, and on your exhale, you're going to draw that right knee right across the body to the left. Moving into a supine twist again. Our twists are very releasing, very energizing. Very good for our nervous system. Let's take one more round of our breath here, breathing in. Stay for your exhale. Inhale back to center. And then swapping sides here, drawing your left knee in towards your chest. Squeeze it in here. Ground down through all parts of the body that are connected to the floor beneath you. And on your exhale, left knee draws to the right. Noticing more in the middle and upper back is the target area for our twist here. Let's take one more round of our breath, breathing in. And out. Returning to center. If you would like, you can draw your knees back towards your chest. Otherwise, we're going to roll off onto whatever side is comfortable for you and find a tabletop. With our tabletop, moving straight into a few rounds of our cat-cow to focus on our spine here. So on your inhale, opening up through your collarbones, dropping your belly. Exhale, articulating through the back of the spine, reversing that movement. Breathing in and releasing out. And in. Exhale. Let's take one more round of that breath, keep breathing in. Exhale. On your next inhalation, we use this opportunity to reset here. Tuck the toes under on your exhale. Just float your knees just an inch or two off the mat. Strong through your hands here, your arms are straight. And then squeeze your knees towards the center line of your body. Active through your belly here. We're continuing to create length through the crown and the sit bones, the point of the sit bones. Take another breath. Exhale, lower down. Take a full circle of your breath. Inhale. Exhale, tuck your toes. Let's do that again. Just float the knees a couple of inches off the mat and draw the knees towards each other. Active through your belly here to support this shape. Take one more round of your breath, breathing in. On your exhale, straighten the legs and start to pedal them out, downward facing dog. Your hands are pressing and spreading into the mat, as are your toes. And if you wish, you can create some stretch through the Achilles, calves, hamstrings by just walking your legs out one by one. And then finding stillness here. It's okay if your heels don't connect to the mat. Again, we're just working on drawing the lower belly in towards the upper thighs, particularly if we are super tight in the posterior chain of the body. Let's take one more breath here, breathing in and out. On your next inhale, float your right leg up behind you, just to hip height. Exhale, tiger curl, draw your right knee in towards your chest. Inhale, create extension through that right leg. And exhale, tiger curl. Third and final on this side, inhale, toes draw back towards your shins, square the hips off. Exhale, step through with your right foot. Low lunge here. See if we can avoid dropping and dumping into the hips here. Active through your legs, open through your heart space. Connecting to your feeling body here. Noticing if you're building any heat in the body, if the heart rate is starting to increase a little. Just take a moment to feel into this space. Let's take one more round of our breath. Keep breathing in and out. From here, we're going to sweep the hands down and up, high crescent lunge, a familiar pose. And then bend off the back knee quite a lot. So we want to start to stretch into this front hip and quad area. And then let's kiss the mat with the floor beneath us and the top of the knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, awesome work, one more here, and 5. Bring your hands to your hips. Take a moment here, maybe take a step in. We're going to come into a warrior. I'll just step back a little. A warrior 3. It's a balancing posture. We're creating strength and we're creating a whole lot of length. So let's take an inhale. On your exhale, shift forward with an open heart, a long spine. And then see if you can start to float this back leg off the mat. We have a softened knee here at the front to just create balance. Active through your belly. Square the hips off. And breathe here. Option to add any sort of arm movement here. You might like to interlace the fingers if you're feeling really balanced. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Let's stay here for 2 more breaths. Breathing in and out. One more breathing in. Exhale. Slowly touch down through the back foot. Frame your front foot. Push the mat away, find a high plank. Take an inhale, scoop the belly up. And on your exhale, lower the knees down. Draw the elbows in towards each other. Kiss the mat with the chest. Setting up for a half locust here. So again, we're looking to create an opening through the front body as we strengthen the muscles that support the spine along the back body. Press through the tops of the feet, active through the glutes. As we do this, we start to activate. You'll notice that the knees start to float off the mat a little here. Let's take an inhale and an exhale. Reach your hands behind, active through your fingertips like you're reaching back towards your toes. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Feel the connection of the front of the pelvis, the belly, and the chest. Take another inhale here. Float your forehead, your chest, the upper belly even off the mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades here. Stay with your breath and allow for your breath to start to filter and billow to the available space into the side waist as we're compressing and creating restriction through the front belly. For 2 more breaths here, stay with me. 1 more, breathing in. Stay for your exhale. Awesome work creating a pillow here with your hands, resting your chin down. Allowing for the body to be heavy. Letting go of all tension here, all activation. And we're giving ourselves permission to be a little more passive. So let's take a few moments here. Just allowing for your body to melt into the support, the security of the floor beneath you. Gently bring your hands, press and spread them underneath the shoulders and draw your elbows into your sideways. On your next inhalation, lift the hips and then press up. Exhale, tuck your toes, find your downward facing dog, maybe stepping in a little here. Feet are hip width apart. Again, just bending your knees off as much as you need to support a neutral spine. And then on your next inhalation, left leg floats and lengthens. Exhale, draw that left knee in towards the chest, tiger cow here. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest, squeeze in here on the exhalation. Third and final round of our tiger cows. Inhale, really good to build strength in our abdominal area. Exhale, and then step through with the left foot, coming into a runner's lunge. Open through your heart space, noticing the connections of your physical body, and also noticing the connections to your heart space and to your feeling body. Knowing that the tools that you cultivate throughout your practice, on your mat, are tools that you can then integrate into the outside world, the community, into your social circles, your school, your friends. From here, sweep the hands up, inhale, bend off the back knee. Come with me here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome. Step in a little here. Take an inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale. Find your warrior 3. Oops. On the opposite side here. So you're strong in the standing foot, building lots of strength and flexibility through the toes, the foot, the ankle. Uplifting through the knee and firing on the larger muscles in your legs to support this T shape. From crown to the heel of the right foot, we're creating extension length. Long, clean lines of energy. Let's take 1 more breath here, breathing in. Exhale, touch down, right foot, really gently connects. Inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot. Push the mat away, create some space to step back, high plank. If you wish, on the next exhalation, you can lower your knees down or take an inhale here on your exhale. Lower your body all the way down. Take the hands out a little wider now. Still at shoulder height here on the tippy fingers. Take an inhale, press through the tops of the feet, active through the glutes. Rolling Sphinx pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, chip open. This time drop the right ear, right shoulder. Create a little bit more of depth, a little bit of twisting here. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, drop the left ear, left shoulder. Inhale, last one. Uplifting through the sternum, lengthening through the front body. Exhale, lower down. Press and spread the hands underneath the shoulders, lift the hips, pressing up. This time, knees might need to just walk forward a little. Let's work into the shoulders. Let's take an inhale, float your left hand up. Take the gaze and follow. Exhale, thread the needle. Left hand reaches all the way through. Then resting the left side of the shoulder, left side of the face onto the mat. From here, option to walk the right hand all the way out to the top, or you can come onto tippy fingers and gently integrate the upper right arm into the shoulder socket. Notice the space, the openness, the stretch that we're creating through the shoulder blade here. Let's take one more breath, breathe in. And exhale, slowly returning, coming out of this pose. Maybe taking a few rounds of our cat-cow, breathing in. And exhale, pushing the mat away. Inhale. And exhale. And then from here, just doing the opposite side now, floating the hand up and threading the hand through. Touching down and connecting the side of the face. Softening through the shoulder here, option to walk the hand out in front or coming up onto tippy fingers, and again, just gently reconnecting the upper arm into the shoulder socket for 2 more full breaths here. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in and out. Slowly, very, very slowly, returning to tabletop. Now we're going to come into a sleeping swan pose. I don't think I've introduced it these sessions, so it's a really quite intense hip opener. So again, just be mindful if anyone has had any knee issues. If it's not for you, just return to a seated position or laying down on your backs. Let's start with the left side so I can demonstrate here. Take an inhale. On your exhale, draw your left knee towards your left elbow, and then place your left knee and slide it all the way down behind the left wrist. From here, the left shin is going to track diagonally. The left foot is going to gently park in front of the right thigh. Then we start to stretch and walk our right leg out here. So depending on how open you are through the hip, will depend how high your left shin reaches up. Now if there's any pain in the knee here, we want to dorsiflex or draw the toes, left toes back towards the shin. See if you can square your hips off here. The extended foot, the toes can be tucked, or you can press the top of the foot into the mat. Let's take an inhale here. Again, we're looking to create length through the front body. And then on your exhale, see if you can ground down. Allow for the hip, particularly that left hip, to sink a little deeper, a little heavier. Now there's a few target areas here. You might be feeling it in the left glute, maybe in the groin, or the outer left thigh. And then quite often, this sleeping swan pose creates a really beautiful, sometimes intense opening on the opposite leg. Now if you wish to go a little deeper here, just exploring sensation in the body, you can move down to the forearms. Soften the chin towards the chest. So just really minimising any tension, any activeness through the back of the neck. Now option to stay here. Or reaching, walking the hands all the way out to the front and resting the forehead on the mat. We're here for 3 more breaths. Continue to focus on directing your breath to the sensation that is showing up in your body. And let's take one more round of our breath here. Stay for your exhalation. And then very gently, as this area may feel a little delicate, wherever you are, press and spread your hands and extend the spine. And then we're going to slowly come back to a counter pose. So we want to encourage, again, nourishment, hydration to flood that left hip, left glute area. So just implementing some gentle movement here. You might like to tuck the toes, float the hips high behind you, come back to your downward facing dog. Just asking yourself what best suits your needs. And then when you're ready in your own time, just swapping sides here. Right knee draws in to your right elbow. And then slide that right knee and land it just behind the right wrist. Right foot, right shin is on the diagonal. And then we extend the left leg out this time. You might even like to just take a peek behind, making sure everything's in alignment so we're not placing any extra pressure on the joints. Take an inhale here. Then on your exhale, slowly lowering down. Moving into the shape on the second side, straight away you might start to observe different intensities, changes in the body. We're creating an external rotation through this right side of the thigh. So we're in a ball and socket joint here. So imagining the upper thigh bone, the femur, is externally rotating into that deep hip socket. So we are creating a little bit of compression. You might feel slight compression into the lower back. Any sort of compression that we create in our yoga practice also allows us to maintain the health of that area. And let's take another 3 more rounds of our breath. Without getting into it too much. Traditional Chinese medicine theory would suggest that we're targeting the liver, kidney and gallbladder energy lines when we move into our sleeping swan pose. The energy lines and meridians lay in between the planes of fascia in the body. And when in balance, when we've cleared stagnation and cleared blockages by stretching and moving, we have more kindness towards ourselves, towards others. others, more compassion. That's why when we complete a practice, we also get that lightness. We feel connected. We also feel light, like we've rid ourselves of worry and negativity. Just things that are unproductive for us to live our best life. Now, rather than coming out of this pose back into a tabletop, we're going to roll off onto our right. You might like to swing this left leg around and come straight into a cross-legged position, or you might like to just shake the legs out a little bit here. Any sort of movement again. I'd like to complete our practice by returning to where we started, so crossing our legs here. And you might notice, because we've done the sleeping swan, the hip opening poses, that you feel like you can maintain this seat a lot better. Maybe the external rotation is a little more extensive this time. So let's take an inhale, float your hands up. Exhale, left hand to right thigh, right hand just sits behind, and then we square back off again. Take another inhale to lengthen through your crown, and then on your exhale, use your connection of your hand to your thigh to create some leverage as we gently twist. This is like our final moment in our practice together to soften and release into the body, releasing and lingering tension. So let's take one more round of our breath. Stay for your exhalation. Inhale, raise the hands up. Exhale. Just gently set up on the other side. Breathing in. And rotating as we breathe out. Breathing. And out. Returning to center. Take another inhale. This time on your exhale, keep the sit bones connected and grounding to the earth beneath you. But we're just going to walk the hands forward. Feel free to round through the shoulders this time. So allow everything to soften. Allow for your heart space to melt towards the floor, your chin draws towards your chest. If it feels comfortable for you, let the head hang a little. Gently walk the hands back. If you have your legs crossed, simply just cross them in the other direction now. Again, it's all about balance. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, again, walking the hands forward. Closing down the eyes. Let's just take 2 more rounds of our breath here. On your next inhale, you can keep your eyes closed if they are closed. Gently returning to an upright seated position, bringing your hands to your heart space here. Returning your awareness back to the breath, that smooth cycle of breath that we established at the start of our practice. And just checking in with your feeling body now and noticing how your body feels in comparison to the very start of our practice. And using your breath as an anchor to focus on this moment. Noticing all the sensations within you. Noticing all of the noises, the smells, the textures that surround you. And just Just sitting here in this space of stillness, of restoration for as long as you have. And thank you for joining me on this yoga journey. Namaste.